What up, guys? Alchemist here. Got something nice for you. So today we're using another Titan build y'all probably familiar with, but like I said, I'm going through the known Titan builds because apparently they're not as known as you think they are. Had someone comment on my video the other day saying Titans don't have anything but consecration, and then in the convo he said the Fleshing Storm fell off on Titans since Bungie nerfed it. I was like, it did? Where you been? No, it's not. It's still strong. So in today's build, I'm showcasing Wishful Ignorance with the Fleshing Storm. Okay. But before we continue, shout out to today's sponsor, DVN.net. Guardians, I would like to recommend you all a great service the Traveler blessed us with, DVN.net. Here, you can find a team to complete different activities for you, like raids, dungeons, trials, exotics that you don't have, and even power grind. No longer do you have to torture yourself with grind level torture. You can give it to somebody else. You can torture somebody else with it, okay? All the services can be done without account sharing, so no worries about securing your account and having to give away your login information. To order a service like that, all you have to do is talk to an operator in the bottom right corner where it says chat and schedule a self-play appointment with your order. The website has been working for a long time. It has a lot of players, reviews, and payment methods. You can check out everything yourself, and with the promo code AlchemistKirito, you will have a 15% off discount on all services. If you have any further questions, just ask the operator in the bottom right corner. What you waiting for? Get help from DVN.net today. If you don't know what Wishful Ignorance do, Wish Dragon's Talent is the exotic perk that says gain additional Frenzy Blade charge. Basically, you get extra melee. You usually have 3, this gives you 4. Frenzy Blade and Fleshing Storm briefly increase their damage with each strike. So if you get 3 hits with this, you will get like 3 stacks of Wish Dragon's Talents in the bottom left corner, and that buffs the damage up by 120%. So you see I hit him, the damage gonna go up, and you see the damage is insane. Okay, 10,000 just from me, 13,000 from me just doing that short melee window. Okay, DPS was 2,000 something. Like it got nerfed, but it's still doing dumb damage, and that's without me having Banner of War on that increases the damage of my melee by 100% and Fleshing Storm by 40%. So it does even more than that. Then the second part says postage from your Banner of War return melee energy based on the number of allies healed. It gives you 5% back for yourself, but if your teammates get inside there, then that's an extra percentage of you getting your melee energy back. So that's just a plus, right? Y'all already know I built this build in order for you guys to get your melee back super quick. So we're using Monte Carlo in this build. It's like mandatory. Monte Carlo making that you get 2% melee energy per bullet that you shoot with it on an enemy, but also too, there's a chance if you kill an enemy, you can get 100% of your melee charge back. But then you got the catalyst that doesn't go based off RNG. It goes based off of every time you stab the bayonet into an enemy, you get 50% of your melee charge back. So just to show you an example of what you would usually do in this build is, you'll go in a room and kill as many enemies you can with Fleshing Storm, and then when you do that, you charge up Monte Carlo because that was a melee kill, and then you just stab some people with the Banner of War being on, and Monte Carlo does give you Banner of War stacks when you do the stabbing with it, and just from them enemies alone, I already got Fleshing Storm back to do a few more slices at people. So the combo is very simple, and I already finna have my another melee charge again, picking up orbs and stuff. So it's easy to always have melee charges on you with this build. And since Monte Carlo does count as a melee attack, Monte Carlo getting buffed up by your melee stat, the bayonet form. It's getting buffed by your melee stat. It's getting buffed by Banner of War, so doing 100% more damage while Banner of War is on. And Monte Carlo give you Banner of War stacks. And the way you get Banner of War stacks is by a finisher move or a melee kill. So the synergy is just there. Monte Carlo, this weapon was made for goddamn melee builds, but more importantly made for Titans, because Titans specialize in melee builds. So pretty insane combo here. You only want 200 melee stat in this build, and whatever, you can go for 100 super because you got a roaming super in this build. And the reason why you want your super to be at 100 stat with the 200 melee is because if I use all my Fleshling Storm, this is the combo loop. Fleshling Storm, while you got Banner War on, and then you pop your super, go crazy with your super, right? Right. And when you kill enemies with your super too, it does give you Banner War. Just want to showcase that a little bit. It does activate Banner War. When your super gets off, the AdMac give you 3 stacks of Frenzy Blade again. So then you go crazy again with it. And then you just go right back to stab with Monte Carlo. And you will get your super quick because, again, it's a roaming super. So you get your super quick. So in the way we set this build up too, you will be getting a lot of super energy. So you want 100 super stat, 200 melee stat. If you can give over 100 super stat, perfect. Then your super going to be doing more damage while you swing with it as well. Your special weapon and heavy weapon can be whatever you want it to be. Okay? Whatever you want it to be. I recommend a strand heavy if you can. Because then you can abuse the thread, the strand benefits, and the artifact, right? Only thing you want this build for artifact, champions go get stunned by overload with auto rifle from Monte Carlo, and then you can suspend people for unstoppables. So the only thing you really be worried about is barrier. So just find a way to break barrier, okay? But again, you can run whatever you want. You can get radiant in this build with fever and chill, and boom, you'll be golded already with your energy weapon, whatever. But anyway, you just want tightly woven, so you get plus 20 class ability stat and grenade stat for free in this build. We got woven mail on. Threading proliferation and pack tactics if you have a strand heavy. Refresh threads and elemental coalescence. So when you make a tangle, if you pick the tangle up and throw it, you will get ability energy for your least charged ability. In this case, it will be your melee because you have no reason to be using your grenade and your class ability unless you're like in a tough situation where you have to use it. Other than that, you're always gonna be using your melee, so this helps you get your melee charges back quicker. Threaded blast. So if you hit a tangle with your frenzy blade while you're in the air doing your fleshing storm, if you hit a tangle with your fleshing storm, it will still trigger threaded blast and do a huge explosion. And then we have shield crush on to increase our melee damage while we got woven mail on. This increase our melee damage by 50% and make our melee recharge faster. And then we have tangle web to suspend enemies in the area. So again, even the damage I just showed you guys with fleshing storm is even more damage when you pick up orb power to get woven mail. So like, again, I don't know why that person thought that Fleshing Storm has downgraded. The gameplay foot in the top right is -40, which is, you'll probably never be doing -40 in this game. -30 is the most you'll be doing, but that's just -40 to showcase it. And this build was going crazy even at mythic difficulty at -50 when it was -50 during that time. I got the smoke jumper armor set on, so when I do pick orb power, not only am I getting that damage reduction from woven mail, I'm getting damage reduction with the smoke jumper set. Smoke jumper gives you 45% damage reduction and it's scaled down to 15% when the timer goes out. So on average, that's 30% damage reduction. If you don't have this armor set yet, the 2-piece, what are you doing? At least get a 2-piece in PvE and it's just golded. Free damage reduction. And then woven mail is already 40% damage reduction. 40%. I don't think it's 45%. 40%, I believe. Damage reduction. Now, subclass. Rally Barricade, obviously, right? Shackle Grenade to suspend people whenever you want to. But you can go to other, like you could go Grapple Grenade because you do have max melee stats. So you could grapple melee somebody if you wanted to. Definitely possible. But I just wanted to be able to suspend people whenever I want to. Fleshing Storm. Just make it that. But then, like I said, Grapple Grenade is actually really good. You have woven mail on, so yeah. You can go Grapple Melee. Grapple Melee is probably the better option here, just to utilize more melee damage in the build. But we got Fleshing Storm on. This is the main bread and butter, which y'all seen I did, and it unravel targets when you do it, so you're spreading, unraveling to everybody. Banner War. When you get 1 stack of Banner War, this automatically gives you that melee buff. You do not have to get the ×4. ×4 Banner War is just increasing the time of health you can get. It gives you more health and tick quicker or whatever. But you only need 1 stack of Banner War for you to get that melee buff of 100% melee buff for Monte Carlo and stuff, and 40% melee buff for the Fleshing Storm. So all it takes is 1 melee kill, finisher move kill, or sword kill to trigger Banner War. That's all it takes, okay? Then we got thread of propagation on. We not rocking a strand weapon. I only have this on for the plus 10 melee stat. Okay. We got on thread of warding. This I get with a mail in the build. I'm actually wondering, is Bungie gonna give? Well, Titan's already got something to give with mail, so never mind. They're breaking the tangle for with mail, so it's what it is. We got thread of transmutation on for that plus 10 melee stat again. It's not really here for the making a tangle with a mail because we're making a tangle from killing unrivaled enemies. And then we have on thread of fury. This drop our melee stat by 10, but this makes it that anytime we damage target with a tangle, we get melee energy. And if you pick up the tangle and throw it at an enemy, not only we getting ability energy from the artifact picking that tangle up from refresh threads. When we throw it at an enemy, we get melee energy because of thread of fury. So again, there's plenty of ways to get your melee energy back very quick in this build, so you can spam Fleshing Storm non-stop through picking up tangle and throwing your tangle, through Monte Carlo shooting with Monte Carlo or stabbing people with Monte Carlo. The arm piece exotic with the Banner of War triggering gives you your freaking melee energy back. Yeah, there's just many ways to get your melee back super quick in this build to spam Fleshing Storm non-stop. Armor mods. We're rocking 2 hands on so I can get my super back quick from all the melee kills I'm getting. And now I get Kinetic Siphon if I do kill somebody with Monte Carlo. I make Aura Power. We got on 3 heavy handed, so I make Auras of Power on the ground for every enemy I kill with my power melee. We got on 3 resist mods on our chest piece. Land piece, we got better already. This help start health regen. We are going to be getting health from picking up Auras of Power because we do have high health stat in this build because of all the brawler set armor we got on. So this is health start regenerating when I pick up an orb, and then we get a chunk of health from the health stat, and then Banner of War will be on giving us health every tick. So health gonna always be going up non-stop in this build. And then pick up an orb, give you Orb and Mail, and then picking up orb trigger the smoke jumper set, so the damage resistance is gonna be there for every orb pick up as well. And we always got orbs out there because we spamming Fleshling Storm for our power melee. Then we have on Invigoration and Aura's Restoration. Again, we only using our melee really in this build. We're not really using our grenade and our class ability. So whenever we pick up Aura Power, they're going to give us double the ability energy for our melee. And then our class item, we got on Reaper and Outreach. So if we ever do use our class ability, we do get melee energy back. But the main thing we got on our class item is 1-2 Finisher. Since we have no blue mods on our build, we can easily hold armor charges on us, and this makes it that whenever I do a finisher move, I get a chunk. I'm thinking like 70% of melee energy back when I finish a move an enemy. So this is very good because finisher move not only help you get your Banner of War triggered, we'll get melee energy from doing that as well, from consuming all our armor charges. So that's the build. Very nuts, very good and in-game content. Highly recommend you use this. It's goated. It's goated. It's still a fun build to use. And as you see in the top right corner, the gameplay loop and stuff, all you're going to be doing is Fleshing Storm, then use the bayonet form of Monte Carlo, abuse the Banner of War, making Monte Carlo broken, one-shotting enemies. They get your Fleshing Storm back, Fleshing Storm again. If you got your super, once you use Fleshing Storm and use all your melee charges, use your super, kill enemies, and then when your super goes off, you'll have 3 charges of melee charges again. Fleshing Storm again, rinse, wash, and repeat. Okay, I wish I had 100 super in this build because I'll be getting my super back even quicker while I'm getting all these melee kills. But y'all get the picture. Y'all get the picture. You should be spamming Fleshing Storm non-stop in this build. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the build. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys as always. And until next time, stay up.